Welcome to No Impulse Control. I am Justin,
I'm Jasmine.
and I hope your ears are not blown because that was really close to my mic. So Jasmine,
Justin.
what are we talking about today? Oh, what?
You said my name, so I wanted to say yours back.
Okay. So Jasmine,
Justin.
how are you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
You know, right now I kind of have a slight headache, but other than that, I'm doing all right.
Did you not have one before I said I'm great? Is that what caused the headache?
I cannot confirm nor deny.
That confirms.
I'm also coming off of playing my first staff v staff basketball game, so that's pretty cool. Never had that, but I've always wanted to. As a student, I watch it, and I was like, I wish I could do that, and never was able to, so it was kind of cool. So yeah, go me.
Go you.
Yeah. So, we are doing a little bit some reset. My brain just was like, blah, blah.
Back her up. So throw her in reverse.
Reverse, Terry. Reverse.
All right. Put it in reverse.
So we are doing something a little different today than we've done before, and depending on what you guys think, we might do it again. So Jasmine and I have scavenged the internet.
We searched for 15 minutes.
I was going to say maybe 10 seconds of Google searching. But we've scavenged the internet and have found both of us, very intriguing posts of news information that we want to bring
articles.
Up. Yeah,
some people call them news articles instead of posts of news information.
So generic. So
of course, yeah, it's the people that are the problem.
The generic people.
Yes.
So we have found 2 each that we want to bring up. Jasmine, do you want to start or do you want me to start?
Oh, I know what yours are. You know what one of mine is?
Wow. Okay. That was said with so much sass and I'm a little upset.
Okay. I want you to start, I think. I feel like start off on a light tone.
I wasn't going to start with the light one. And that was,
I know.
That was odd.
I know. Sorry, the Valley Girl in me came out.
Everybody, you can now click off. It's okay. We understand.
Watch this be the point where the views suddenly
the views just drop.
You can go first. I don't know where I was going with that.
I was gonna say I'm just gonna jump into it then. So
nice.
So we have the topic at hand here, and I want to preface this. A couple of years ago, I remember hearing about this. All right, I remember hearing about this, but only up to a point. Within the last 48 hours, there has been more information released. So, title of article is, did Utah mom, I want to say Corey Richins, poison her husband, then write a children's book on coping with grief?
Bum, bum, bum!
So basically, the idea behind this story is that this mom of 2 boys, I believe it's 2 boys. There might be a third, I can't remember, but of boys. The idea was that she, oh man, the dad died. Unfortunate. She's grieving. She's going through this whole thing, but the boys are struggling with it. So she decides to write a book for her boys to help them get through their grief and understand what grief is, which is awesome. That's a very wholesome story. But if you remember in the story's title,
from 1 year ago, I looked up the date when it happened. It was a year ago.
Right. Okay, so I guess it was a year ago that I heard about it, but I remember hearing about her doing this story.
I'm looking at the pictures, and I remember this now.
Yeah. So
it's wild.
The problem is, she is now arrested and charged with poisoning her husband. Is this a form of clout? Would this be considered clout?
Clout chasing?
She's clout chasing with a book?
So, I think so. I want to say yes, but I also want to say no. So I feel like clout chasing would be if her husband died of
and
his
she's
own.
using that.
It'd be like if she was using her husband's death and she was constantly posting about it, like every day, like you know, talking about her husband's death in the form of like to get views.
Mm-hmm.
But this just feels like a different level of bad.
This is like a get rich quick scheme, but just you're losing a family
fraud.
member. Yeah. So here's the thing. I read through the article and like
that's good
up to that point. Right, up to that point, like I said, she, going through this whole thing, blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
But the weird part is, well, not really weird, kind of suspect part is that one, they were married on a whim, kind of. They already had a kid.
They were going to say on a Wednesday, and I was like, what does that mean?
They already had a kid, and they had one on the way, so they got married really quickly in the backyard, and then they signed, I think it was a prenup, if I remember correctly, but they signed a prenup basically saying that neither of them have access to each other's present or future incomes. Except,
what a weird phrasing.
Exactly. Except there was one part of it that basically said that she would have access to his if he were to die. So there was like some sort of like, I can't remember what they're called, but in like legal terms, but basically it was like some caveat to some clause that basically gave her permission to have it if he has died.
That's so weird.
Super suspicious, right? So I also want to point out that she, at the time in 2013, when they got married, was 23 and he was 31. So it's almost a 10-year difference, which in and of itself could be suspicious as well, depending on the couple.
Depending when they met.
Right, depending on when they met and all that. But basically, it was like a whole thing on the night of. So before, there was an alleged ask that she had made, okay? She basically asked for, this is her words, not mine, okay? I'm going to put that out there. She basically asked for, where is it? Because I want to make sure I get it right.
You want to make sure you credit her words, not yours.
Right, yeah. So her words on this article, basically, she was using fentanyl, trying to, like, somebody was using fentanyl, and she was using it in, this is the allegations, in his drink or in his food, whatever. And it wasn't working. So she went to...
Sorry, continue.
So she went to the person and said that she wants some of that Michael Jackson stuff. Implying she wants something really, really, really strong. And so that, that's what she got. Then on Valentine's Day in 2022, she made a sandwich for him, poisoned it, and he wasn't feeling good. So he went and he was like, okay, I'm going to do this. I guess one of their sons had an EpiPen, so he used it, and then he went to lay down and fell asleep.
You're supposed to go to the ER after that.
Correct, but he didn't. And then he passed away on March 4th. So it was a fairly quick turnaround. So yeah. There's a $3.9 million mansion involved. There's a fight that broke out. It's a whole thing.
Work?
So where was it? She became a realtor, or like some sort of like, she was getting some funds is what it was. But yeah, so she is not on trial. She'll go before the jury in 2025. So there's going to be a little bit of a wait until that happens. But that's the situation that we found ourselves in with this article. Thoughts?
Yeah. Mr. Davis, I have a question. So
that's weird.
Well, you said thoughts. Sorry, my husband's in the background. If anyone's hearing footsteps, it's not me wandering around my own home, which is surprising. It's normally I am.
She has done it.
I guess my original thought when you first read this to me was like, boss babe, get after it. And then the more I thought about it, I was like, did he do anything? Like, did she just decide one day she was like, I am done with their Utah? John. I am done with John.
I mean, that's kind of what it sounds like. It kind of
Kinda.
just feels like it's very much like, we're done. And she also made it big off of having, this book that was really like well written and really
Well,
yeah.
Bless you.
Ding dong.
I had forgotten about Ya Ding Dong. Oh,
it's
Ya
Eric, by
Ya
the way.
Ding Dong.
But
My love
like,
for you is running away. Ya,
so
Ding Dong.
this book, like, it's really like good. It helps promote,
The grief
grieving is a
process.
positive thing, all these things, which is awesome. So she got some buku bucks from that too. So there's that element.
Did no one think it was suspicious when it happened?
Apparently.
I mean, so I'm gonna guess Utah. I'm gonna make a wild guess on ethnicity here. Did no
white,
one like
very white? Both of them
yeah.
white. All of them white.
What? Yeah, I gathered. Did no one think to like look into it at all?
I guess
or they
not.
They were just like, man, that's real sad that he passed away. Rip my guy, and they just moved on. Did they not do an autopsy? Was she not literally sweating bullets as her book got published?
Well, I mean,
Ooh,
if you are
what's the book called?
psychopathic, it's
Fair enough. What's it called?
It's called "Are You With Me?"
Yikes.
According to court documents following an autopsy in April 2022,
it only has a 1.8 rating.
Oh, yikes! It was I wonder if it's partially because of this.
I'm wondering.
In April 2022, it was determined that Eric.
Sorry, continue.
That Eric had died from an overdose of fentanyl, so it wasn't that Michael Jackson stuff. I mean, I think it actually was. I don't remember what he passed away from, but the medical examiner said that Eric had 15 milligrams of fentanyl in his blood, and that in other deaths caused by fentanyl concentration has been reported as low as 3. So it is 5 times higher than the lowest. My man's was not surviving that night, which is unfortunate.
So can I read you some of these comments? Do you mind?
About the book?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is from like May through December of 2023, roughly. First one is just like, hey, just so everyone's aware, this author has now been charged with killing her husband. Scary that she wrote this. But the next one is,
valid.
This book is a killer. It'll take your breath away. So good it's simply murder. The author clearly knows all about death on a deeply intimate level. When I finished, I felt like I'd be poisoned to death with fentanyl by a loved one. It's that powerful. I can honestly say it kicks harder than a Moscow mule.
Dang.
And then a couple of people commented, and they were like, this comment made me laugh. And then someone said, this review sent me to heaven like her husband. And then somebody responded and said, Mr. Tangent, who's the name of the original commenter, she murdered her husband, then wrote a book. It was like that. That's what the joke is, ma'am. Someone wrote, this book was horrific. The first half was so terribly depressing that I can't imagine anyone would ever read this to a grieving child in good faith. The illustrations are so bad. The angel dad looks like he's haunting the kid. Nothing about him looks warm or comforting. Oh, also consider the author just got charged with murdering the husband who inspired this book. Yikes.
So yeah, be careful with what you're eating. I guess if you leave a clause in your prenup that you could, that the partner would get a little income thing there. Maybe don't eat a sandwich that they made. That's all it comes down to.
Yeah. Also, maybe check in with your loved ones when they're mad, and maybe don't eat things from them when they're mad at you. Maybe like check in with them in the kitchen a little bit.
Hey friend, are you poisoning me tonight? I just want to
Yeah,
know. I got
just like
plans for
check the
tomorrow.
cabinets. Also, so I was also looking up the article because I wanted to see what she looked like. Exactly what I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah. The first thing that it says is a Utah author. They're calling her an author now, which is bold.
I mean, she technically was. She did have a published book, so technically that makes you an author.
Technically. She's accused of lacing her husband's drink with a lethal dose of fentanyl and then writing a children's book about grief. She will not face the death penalty, prosecutor said Friday. This was August. So, authors have accused Corey, I think it is Corey. That's a bad spelling.
Yeah,
are you
isn't
with
it?
me?
That's why I struggled.
Of spiking a Moscow Mule. Oh, that's why she made the comment. Moscow Mule with a fatal dose at their home in Klamath, Utah.
Klamath.
She's 39 when this happens. That's too old to be doing this.
Well, yeah, I mean, they got married in 2013.
Just get divorced. What the hell?
Yeah. So, anyways.
Did you read this and maybe I didn't see it? He previously told relatives that he believed she had tried to poison him multiple times, and that
I
if
forgot to mention it.
anything happened to him, she was to blame.
Yep.
A family spokesperson said that he stayed in the marriage because of their 3 children. You could take the kids. A third.
Ow.
Sorry. You could take the children with you.
You could.
Like, why are...
Yeah. So yeah. I just don't love it. I don't love that situation, and I was very upset to find out that book, because that book, like, I was excited to have, a book about grief, which is
apparently it's not great.
Right, that's what that's what you're saying. So
yeah, if you would like some, I have some at the school I can recommend to you.
Maybe we can do that off camera though.
Okay.
So anyways, what is your first one? I'm not going to school right now.
All right. Amateur archaeologists uncover a mysterious ancient Roman artifact in England. Put it back. Stop taking shit out of the ground.
We've seen enough movies. We don't need to go this. We don't need to go this route.
A group of amateur archaeologists in England were on their second to last day of excavation in June when they discovered this mysterious ancient artifact called a dodecahedron. So like a 12-sided shape.
Mm-hmm.
It's between the size of like a golf ball and a grapefruit, which could be a number of things. That's not specific at all. Characterized by its 12-sided form with various holes and knobs. So, you've played Baldur's Gate, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
You remember Shadowheart's artifact?
Vaguely,
when we're crossing into the goblin village and we fall and then she holds up the artifact, that's kind of what it looks like. It's a 12-sided shape with a bunch of holes in it and knobs. Kind of looks like a toy to me a little bit. I'll show you the picture when we're done. The discovered dodecahedron is about the size of a grapefruit, larger than the usual artifact or the usual grapefruit. No specificity there. So, its function remains unclear, even though more than 100 have been found across Europe. The Norton Disney History and Archaeologists group describes the dodecahedron as one of archaeology's great enigmas. Put it back.
I was going to say, put it back.
This is largely because there are no known visual or written descriptions of dodecahedra in Roman literature. Put it back. That's because they didn't want you to know what it was. So, according to Lorna Hitchens, a doctoral student, she said that there's like a bunch of different uses. It could be a gauge, a rangefinder, a candlestick, a die for gambling or gaming. I doubt the Romans were gambling with, like a formal thing, but maybe they were playing Russian roulette. Who's to say?
They could have very well been gambling, I'm going to be honest.
They probably were,
I'm pretty sure they were pretty popular in gambling.
They're probably pretty loose with some things. The Romans weren't known as, like, the greatest of people. Right. Knitting gloves, for example. She says that none of those theories are supported by evidence, however. A huge amount of time, skill, and energy was taken to create our dodecahedron, so it was not used for mundane purposes. It was most likely used for ritual and religious purposes, which again...
Put it back.
Put it back! Stop taking things out of the ground. Look at them and go, ooh, put it back. Take a picture.
Bones.
Ready for
that's
this?
fine,
sorry.
cool, whatever. But
even some bones, I'm saying we just don't need to. Yeah.
But something that we have no idea and no clue of what it might be, maybe we don't take it. As long as there's no way to open it, I guess it's okay.
It's already opened, yeah.
But if it were like a casket and you open that,
oh my gosh, the people who keep finding caskets and opening them, I'm like, what is wrong with you? So, Roman society was full of superstition, something experienced on a daily basis. A potential link with local religious practice is our current working theory. Put it back.
Put it back.
What makes this latest discovery unique is it's also it was fully intact, and it's the only example uncovered in the central region of England known as the Midlands. Most of the found dodecahedra have been discovered in shattered bits. So one of the people working for it, the secretary apparently of Norton Disney, don't know what that is, but whatever. Apparently, he said, it was found where it was put deliberately 1,700 years ago for whatever reason.
If it was put deliberately, leave it alone. Oh my goodness.
Many of the known examples are divorced from their find contexts, have been prized by collectors since the 18th century at least. There's a lot of horse trading of these objects in the Victorian era. How do you know that if there was no record of them? Anyway. And poor record keeping. So, of course, you know all of the information. The archaeological... Look at me saying that on the first try. Group revealed the discovery in a BBC archaeology program called Digging for Britain. Stop. Earlier this month. It is currently on display at the National Put it back.
Put it I saw this thing the other day. I saw this thing the other day where it was...
Put that thing back where it came from. More so help me. Bum, bum, bum.
It was 2020. We had a leap year. We had Chiefs versus Niners in the Super Bowl, and Chiefs won.
Was it?
Yep. And we had a mass pandemic that came from...
Hey, shut up.
It is 2024. It is a leap year.
Shut up.
Shut up.
Shut up. Shut up. Shut your mouth.
Chiefs and Niners played in the Super Bowl, and the Chiefs won.
Shut up!
If they're pulling this thing out of the ground, who's to say that there are diseases that are coming with this?
Are moist. You need
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
The back of my neck is damp.
That's gross. That feels like you're sweating really bad, and you might want to go take care of that.
Yeah, you're making me anxious.
That's because it made me anxious. It's true, though. Anyway. You're talking about these people pulling stuff out of the ground.
Yeah, the dodecahedra, yeah.
Yeah, who's to say there's not some sort of disease on that? And now those people are going out into the world.
I want to see what, else. Oh, apparently this is, a known thing for a while. Measuring devices, calendars, ornamental scepter toppers, weapons, or tools. However, the Smithsonian says no one really knows what they're used for.
Also, if it's a religious thing, who's to say that's
it's probably cursed.
Yeah, either cursed or maybe somebody, this is something that they deliberately put there, right? So why are we touching it? We don't need to touch everything.
Oh my gosh, okay? What if it held
We're like a child. We're like a child. We put everything in our mouth.
What if it held nails or something in there for the Romans to use on crosses and stuff?
Ew.
It was the Romans, right?
I don't know. You read it.
I meant about the crosses part, Justin. You're more in tune with that than I am.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Nana, who was it?
All right. I'm gonna pick it up. Actually, do you want to do your second one? Because your second one I feel like is gonna be funny.
I think both. Well, yeah, yours is sad.
Mine's not sad. It's upsetting.
All right, so mine is the zoo's potty mouth parrots are showing signs of cleaning up their act. So this was...
Hang on, before you continue, I just want to point out that these okay.
Yeah.
TV screen, you got to chill out. All of you youngsters wouldn't understand that. Unless you got a box TV, you've never understood that.
You made snot come out of my nose. Oh, it was
I just
so
want
gross.
to point out that these parrots
All
are
ye
doing
youngins.
better than us. Okay, that's all I'm saying.
Parrots are
That's
doing
what you
better?
said.
Oh, the birds?
Yeah, the birds.
Yeah, the birds. So this is from February 22nd, so like 3 days ago. This is in Britain. Another British article for me. The Lincolnshire Wildlife Park said in January that its 8 profane parrots would be moving in with a flock of 92 more polite birds in the hopes that the badly behaved birds would pick up on some more family-friendly words and sounds. And one of the guys was like, we could also end up with 100 swearing parrots on our hands. Only time will tell. So the parrots seem to be doing really well after a few weeks. It's still early days, but it's a good start. Nicholas, that's the name of the guy. Of course, people are still walking up to the enclosure and swearing in front of the parrots, hoping that they're going to copy the words, which is its own thing. So Nicholas said that while the swearing seems to be slowing, one parrot has picked up a different sort of annoying habit and is singing "We Wish You a Merry Christmas" over and over and over and over again.
My parrot has an ADHD brain right there.
Yeah, and he goes, it was fine in December, not so fine in February. He has signs warning guests for potential abusive language from the aviation area to remain in place. So that's my funny one. Thoughts, comments, concerns, questions?
Honestly, I kind of want to meet these parrots.
Right? Let's go to Britain.
We need to go to Britain. Gonna get our flights and go to Britain.
What are you doing?
Because I want to meet this parrot. This parrot, not parent. You
said that twice now.
Look,
that's why I clarified earlier. That's why I clarified earlier. I was like, parrots? You feel like are doing better than us, or parents are doing better than us? Because
you win some, you lose some.
But yeah,
the fact that they're swearing, that makes me kind of funny. That's kind of funny.
It's funny, but it's also, I don't know. I thought it was funny when I read the headline, and then I found out about the people intentionally going up, which makes
that's
like people do that, and it's dumb. But at the same time, it's just like, why? Just go bully the bears or something. Like,
see how they like it. Like,
you're picking on the parrots. How big of a person are you if you're picking on the parrots? You know what I mean?
I also love that they're fixed to those 9 parrots was to put them with almost 100 polite parrots.
Yeah. Also, why do you have so many polite parrots?
Why do you have so many parrots?
I think, well, no, they just said birds.
Oh.
So it was just other birds.
They were just like, hey, parrots.
Polite birds.
Polite birds. Thank you for the worm. May I fly by you? I have got to go to the restroom. Squawk! There's a worm. You better run.
Squawk!
Squawk! Oh,
Instead of beep beep mother, you can bleep that out. I'm so sorry. Instead of that, it's beep beep. Excuse me, ma'am.
Excuse me. We're gonna use better words here.
Maternal lover. Excuse me. I'm so sorry.
That was tough.
Oh man. Ooh. Get a load of this guy. Oh. Yeah. So anyway.
Parrots.
So the parrots, they also have a TikTok. Found that out while I was researching. It's the Lynx Wildlife Park on TikTok. They've got a couple videos up, and they also have an Instagram that you can go check out. I'm sure they're about to get a whole lot of people, because this news article kind of blew up a little bit. I say blew up as if it's like, huge, but it kind of blew up a little bit, because I found like 7 different things on it. And it's like all over a bunch of different social media sites. So yeah, that's me. What you got?
So this last one, y'all can let me know if you agree with me, because I'm a little sad. Okay, I'm a little sad, and I'm also a little upset about the way that this was handled. But this is the title. It says, Bobby's. Nope.
I think it is Bobby.
Is it Bobby or is it Bobby?
I
feel
don't
like
think it's Bobby.
It's spelled like Dobby, so it must be Bobby.
Like Dobby the elf?
Bobbi. Dobby. Well, that's Bobby, but Bobby.
Dobby the elf is spelled Dobby.
Right, so it's basically the same. It's just spelled in more of a, like, British way. English way. Anyways, Bobby the dog. I'm going to just... Bobby. Bobby. That's what I thought it was. Bobby.
Yeah, you were right.
I knew I was. Bobby loses title of world's oldest dog ever after Guinness World Records investigates. Basically, this dog lives a lot of years, and they last year said that he was 30. So that is the oldest dog ever. So he got the title, and then he passes away in October before he could become 31, and they take the title away from him and give it back to the previous winner, who, by the way, I love the name, I love the show because, well, it's a classic, but it's the other one was the old winner was Bluey, the American or the Australian cattle dog. Mom. Anyways, we're not doing this. Bluey lived to be 29 and 5 months, and I guess Bobby didn't live to be that long, or live to be past 29 and 5 months. Basically, they can't confirm when he was born, but he lived to be at least 29 years old. They know that much, but they don't know when he turned. Like, they have his birthday, but they don't know. Like it's just a slight, like, they don't have it. But they can't give it to him because they don't have the required documents as evidence for the pet's life, which is really upsetting.
That is BS.
Yeah, I think the dog. I think Bobby earns it. He wins it. I love Bluey, but it's time for a change. Okay. It was just months actually, so he did technically, or well, I say technically, he didn't technically, but it was just months after celebrating what was reportedly his 31st birthday. So technically, Guinness World Records thinks that he just turned 30 and didn't make it to 30 and 5 months. But the owners say that he was 31, like he had just celebrated 31. So yeah, the owner, I want to point this out. The owner says
throwing fists.
Well, I would too if I were them, but the owner says that Bobby's longevity is to a calm, peaceful environment that he lived in, and it helped, in his words, it helped that he had a diet of human foods that also contributed. Bobby was never tied up, chained, or leashed, and was allowed to roam around his home. He loved being petted, as any good doggo does, and enjoyed playing with his 4 cat siblings, because cats and dogs can be friends.
So Bobby didn't live in like a big city.
No, Bobby I think was in like Bobby. He was. I don't know where he lived.
Thank you.
I don't think it tells us.
Well,
either way, Guinness World Records, you messed up on this one, in my opinion.
So have you heard the heat of Guinness World Records? And maybe this is just like a wild rumor that I'm about to spread. Guinness World Records is often in heat for things because
like a cat?
Nope, not in a sexual way, Justin. They're
well, you said in heat, so
in hot water.
In the boiling of water.
Yeah, they're in hot water because there's been a couple times now where they've given someone an award and then not even just like a different person earned it, because that's one thing, right? Like, you run somewhere the fastest and then someone does it faster than you. Okay, they earn that. But where they've given it to someone and then they've been like, ooh, you weren't the best at, had the most of, did the whatever of this thing. It's actually this person. It's actually this person who just emailed us today, and they said that on this day they actually did it, and So we're going to go check again. And it's not a new record. It's just that record got swapped. And again, I could be wildly mistaking this, but I remember stories of it. Like the most tattoos and stuff like that.
Right.
It was like one tattoo or two tattoos actually got counted as one on somebody instead of, like my sharks. This would be, someone counted this as two tattoos or counted this as one tattoo or whatever. But I remember that story.
It wouldn't surprise me. And to be fair, like there's a lot of people reaching out to them. So like I can see it, but also why are you giving it out? Like giving out the award, the record, without having that evidence.
Right. It's also Guinness World Record was really, really cool when we were in elementary school. And even before that. But like, you remember the books, the Ripley's Believe It or Not?
They still make them, yeah.
I know, but back in ye olden days, when they were making them, they were cool. They had cool stuff. And it wasn't just like, I don't know, most likes on a social media post kind of BS that they have now. It was like, the world's tallest man, and he was genuinely the tallest person to have ever lived. Right. And they went out and they measured, and then they fact checked it with everybody else. Like that, it was always fun to me. Or like the people that had the most piercings or whatever.
Right.
And I feel like a lot of Guinness right now, and this is just because of the content that I watch, but like the Dude Perfect Guinness World Records thing, a lot of them was just like stupid things. And I'm like, why is this a record?
I mean, anything can be a record.
We popped the most balloons with a blow dart. Why?
I mean, anything can be a record. Us talking could be a record. Just depends on how fast we talk and how long we talk.
You put us in front of a Marvel movie with a bad plot line, and I'll tell you just how long we can talk.
Not long, because I will focus on the Marvel movie. Maybe a different movie.
I'll talk.
I know you will.
Speaking of which, when are we going on another movie thing? When are we going back to see a horror movie?
I don't know. I don't feel like the viewers really care about that.
The viewers care about our personal lives.
How about this? Personally, where can they find you?
Honest Asminsta, ASMINSTAH, on all social media. Don't know if it's 1721 or not. It's a gamble. Have fun. You can also find our new TikTok, and hopefully soon new Instagram when Jasmine gets her stuff together. But new TikTok at No Impulse Control on TikTok. Please go follow us. We are desperate for your approval.
We love being told that we're awesome.
And we love you very much. Please go follow us or we'll come find you. Where can they find you, Justin?
Well, not creepily like that. You can find me at TSK1239 on really any of the socials except for when you can't. And then you can look up The Soccer King 1239 and you'll find me there. You can find me on YouTube, which is The Soccer King 1239. And like Jasmine said, check out the new TikTok and the new Instagram, because we would love to start posting there and getting all your quality points in that as well. Also, don't be scared to post us on things, okay? Like, I know that we're awesome and you want to keep us to yourselves, but you got to share, okay? You got to share. So put us in your stories, take a screenshot, put us in your stories of Instagram, on Snapchat, or anything else. Shout out to my sister Tia for doing that, because she's the first person that I've seen do it. So shout out to you, Tia. Otherwise, we appreciate you. Don't forget to comment. Tell us the wildest news story that you've heard in recent months.
Or the wildest thing that's happened to you in recent months that should be on the news.
Yeah.
What's your family drama? I would love to hear.
Give me that tea. Anyways.
I want your gossip.
So yeah, we'll see you in the next one. Right after we figure out our own lives, and then we can talk about yours. But anyways, we'll see you in the next one. Peace out.
Peace out.